You have seen every episode of Band of Brothers, the police academy has denied your application for the third time, and you would rather experience PTSD than face the monotony of adult life. That can mean only one thing. It's time to play Hell Let Loose. This guide is meant to give you the most basic overview, the tools you need to get into the game and have a good time without being absolutely useless. First, if you can't spell the title of this game without using double hockey sticks, then you are probably the wrong kind of infantry and this game is not for you. Seriously, this game will ruin you, so parental advisory is in effect. And speaking of your parents, just like their temporary separation, it's time to pick a side. Hell Let Loose has three factions: the United States, Germany, and Russia. The differences between them aren't huge aside from the equipment you have available in your arsenal and the tinge of guilt you feel when you win as the Germans. There are two game modes in Hell Let Loose: Warfare and Offensive. Warfare divides the map into 5 sectors equal in size. At the beginning of the round, both teams start with 2 sectors and race to capture a neutral zone in the center of the map. You capture a sector by going to a capture zone marked with these striped circles. Active ones do not have a padlock on them. Being inside squares that touch the cap zone gives you a ×1 toward capture or defense, and being inside the circle gives you ×3. It's worth noting, just like growing a successful rap career, the more bars, the faster this will go. Once the neutral sector is captured, there are 2 active sectors that border each other, the one your team controls and the one the enemy team controls. Your team wins the match by capturing the last enemy sector or holding more sectors when the time runs out. The other game mode, Offensive, pits the factions against each other to see who can say the most downright offensive things in team chat. No. In Offensive, the defending team controls all 5 sectors at the start of the round, and the attacking team attempts to capture each sector within a 30-minute timer, which resets with every successful capture. Also, only standing within the active capture circle counts toward your team's objective. As infantry, you can spawn into the map using 4 possible deployments: your HQ, the starting zones, an outpost, a spawn location placed by your squad leader that is exclusive to your squad, a garrison, which is available to the whole team, and lastly, an airhead, which is a temporary garrison placed by your commander. Oh yeah, and a half track, which I totally didn't forget, but they usually go like this. Now let's talk about how to be a soldier. There are 9 roles to play in Hell Let Loose, but for this guide, we will only discuss the rifleman. Other roles will be discussed later in the series, and hopefully by then saying rules this much won't make me so hungry. But quickly, each team has one commander that oversees the whole operation, and each squad has one squad leader, the officer role. There is a hierarchy of communication. Squad members can talk amongst themselves, and squad leaders can communicate with each other and relay information to the commander. You can talk to ally players outside your squad using proximity chat. As a rifleman, you don't have to worry about garrison placement or where to park the supply truck or any of the newfangled ideas they teach in officer school. In a sense, you are Little Italy, a small fish in a very large pond, and only need to concern yourself with how to be the best little boot you can be. Each role gains access to more loadouts as you gain experience, which you can see in the barracks in the main menu. Think of the loadouts like specializations for your role. As the standard issue rifleman for the US, you have access to the M1 Garand and 2 grenades for anti-infantry work, 2 bandages to stop the bleeding for non-fatal wounds, a hammer to build infrastructure, an ammunition box to resupply allies, and a knife for when either you or an enemy have made a terrible miscalculation. As the point man loadout, you receive a faster firing M1 carbine and smoke grenades, but you lose access to the ammo box. It's the same role, but point man is specialized for being aggressive and crossing boundaries, kind of like your drunk uncle. So, combat. Headshots are almost always a one-shot kill, and the lethality of body shots depends on where the bullet lands and the caliber of the bullet. Bullets do have ballistics, so you will need to lead and account for drop when fighting at range, but in most engagements it will be pretty much point and click. It is important to understand your most significant actions are not what you can do with your rifle, but what you can do for your team. Sometimes, actions you take as a team contribute more to your success than sitting in a building searching for distant pale dots like a twisted Carl Sagan. As a rifleman, you can drop ammo to keep more guns in the fight.
I got ammo.
I love you.
Do you want a kiss?
Or drop a box near a machine gunner to keep the enemy team suppressed. And beyond your role as rifleman, as an infantry player, you can deny the enemy access to resources used to build infrastructure, coordinate to take down vehicles, warn friendlies of dangerous areas, whether they listen or not.
Dangerous open field, bud.
Build defenses, and capture and defend sectors. Don't get me wrong, shooting is a large portion of this game, but so is cooperation.
Like, you got a bandage? Does that work on me? Thank you, I'm bleeding out.
Wrapping things up, because I think you're probably getting the gist, and I gotta put some rolls in the oven, let's do some quick tips. Number 1. There is an overhand and underhand throw for grenades. Find the difference in your key bindings because one will put grenades in enemy foxholes and the other at your own feet. Also, grenades do not damage vehicles, but they can destroy enemy outposts. 2. You can sprint while crouching. Moving in this game is much like nude beach etiquette. If you're standing around all erect, people are probably going to point at you. 3. Sometimes it is faster to wait to be revived than to redeploy. When in the critical health state, you can see the distance to the nearest medic. Communicate with your team to find out what makes the most sense for you.
It's very hot.
It's okay.
Mwah.
I like it.
God damn it.
4. Familiarize yourself with the compass at the bottom of the screen and the tactical map, which you can pull up using M if you are playing on PC. Both of these tools can give you a greater awareness as to what is going on around you. 5. There is an inherent level of roleplay in playing a game like Hell Let Loose. You'll have more fun if you don't play too cool and just embrace it.
You know, I hear Captain is a Quaker.
I'm not a Quaker.
With these tips, you should be ready to hop into the battlefield, but there's one more important thing that I think you will encounter a lot when you play Hell Let Loose. So, for the sake of transparency, here it is.
God damn. Back.